bad sign for Galaxy S26 Ultra. The Galaxy S25 Ultra has already fallen off the popularity cliff. The S25 Ultra is no longer a popular choice for flagship consumers, while the iPhone 16 series continues to reign supreme. The S25 Ultra vanished from the Q3 2025 bestseller list, while the iPhone 16 Pro Max, its direct competition, continued to dominate as the third most popular phone globally. If the S25 Ultra has been forgotten so fast, Samsung's next flagship, the S26 Ultra, may not even make it to the list. The S25 Ultra was off to a tremendous start, hitting initial sales records, but that enthusiasm has swiftly waned. The S25 Ultra was on sale in February and was among the top sales in both Q1 and Q2. Instead of ascending the list in Q3, the device dropped out and was replaced by the Galaxy A56. In fact, all 5 of the Samsung smartphones that made it to the list were cheap Galaxy A series handsets. The iPhone 17 Pro Max, which was released on September 19, or 11 days before the end of the third quarter, managed to break into the list. The iPhone 16e, which was released around the same time as the S25 Ultra, was among the top sellers in both Q2 and Q3. It's clear, Apple's flagships, even the stripped-down ones, have outshone Samsung's high-end phones. Samsung and Apple tied in Q3 in that they both had 5 phones on the Q3 bestseller list. However, all of Samsung's phones belonged to the A series. Counterpoint, which created the list, ascribed this to AI technologies that have trickled down from flagships, as well as speedier charging and longer software support. It looks like Samsung's flagships have been deemed too pricey for what they deliver. Apple, on the other hand, did well while largely selling just flagship phones, a testament to its image as a high-end brand. What does that mean for the Galaxy S26 Ultra? We already know that the Galaxy S25 Ultra will be introduced in 2 noticeable advancements over its predecessor, a slightly bigger screen and a new ultra-wide sensor. The S26 Ultra is reported to be a more modest improvement, with faster charging and a refined design, the only notable changes planned, other than the obligatory new chip. On top of that, Samsung may not even hold the line on pricing. Even a little enhanced S26 Ultra would be a very good device, because the S25 Ultra is already top tier. The question is not quality but visibility. It might not be good enough to keep up with the success of the iPhone 17 Pro Max, which is on course to outsell the iPhone 16 Pro Max, allowing the S26 Ultra to slip from bestseller lists just as soon as the S25 Ultra did. If Samsung is comfortable being renowned for inexpensive devices and allowing its flagships to take a backseat, it should continue down the same road. Otherwise, some significant modifications are needed to match the iPhone's success. Samsung dominates the foldable market for now, but Apple may erase that advantage once it produces its first foldable phone, a repetition of history after it dethroned Samsung as the leading seller of 5G phones with its own debut 5G handset. Samsung has retained a consistent approach to cameras on its baseline Galaxy S series model for a few years. The S25 arrived in January with the same triple camera arrangement as the S24, which itself boasted identical camera technology to the S23. A recent rumor from South Korea's The Alex says that the upcoming S26 is slated to reuse the same camera modules as the ones used in the S25. This means a 50 megapixels primary with apertures of 1/1.56, a 10 megapixels telephoto apertures of 1/3.94 with 3x optical zoom, and a 12 megapixels ultra-wide apertures of 1/2.55. But it was not the intended plan. The same report indicates that Samsung planned to enhance the Galaxy S26's sensors alongside a higher starting price, but the iPhone 17's debut disrupted those plans. Apple's decision to upgrade the vanilla iPhone 17 to a 120Hz ProMotion LTPO OLED screen and 256 GB base storage, while preserving its $799 beginning price, influenced Samsung's decision-making. This apparently led Samsung to a last-minute decision to forego the S26's camera enhancements, so the device could match the $799 starting cost. The impact is now expected to also contribute to a delay in the vanilla S26's production timetable, as Samsung will have to alter its internal components. For reference, the S26 Ultra is slated to commence mass production this month, while the S26 and S26 Plus will begin their manufacturing journey in early 2026. Early speculations stated that Samsung might enhance the S26 Ultra's peak brightness to 3000 nits. However, noted leaker Iced Universe suggests the new flagship will keep the same 2600 nits of brightness as its predecessor. While the change to the N14 OLED material set could enhance efficiency and longevity, Samsung won't boost the peak brightness. The leaker notes that they are still seeking confirmation on certain other promised updates. These include 10-bit color depth, high-frequency pulse width modulation dimming, and Polus screen technology. Also called on-cell film or color filter on encapsulation, Polus technology lowers display layers for enhanced transparency and power efficiency. It replaces the typical polarizer layer with a color filter and employs a black pixel definition layer instead of the standard one for a thinner display assembly. The Galaxy S26 Ultra has been widely reported to embrace color filter on encapsulation, but the new leak shows otherwise. Or maybe it's still in the pipeline, and leakers aren't aware of it. We shall find out shortly. There are also reports concerning Flex Magic Pixel technology. This function supposedly employs AI to decrease screen visibility from side angles, offering users an extra layer of anonymity when using their phone in public. It appears to be a software-controlled function rather than a hardware change. Therefore, Samsung may offer it with the S26 series. Stay tuned for additional leaks and rumors. Thankfully, there's slightly better news when it comes to charging. The S26 Ultra is believed to get 60-watt wired charging and 25-watt wireless charging, which would mark a welcome advance over the S25 Ultra's 45-watt and 15-watt rates. Even more exciting, though, is the claim that Samsung could finally be about to offer built-in magnetic charging to the whole S26 family. A fresh claim suggests Samsung is working on its own Qi2 magnetic wireless charging dock and cases for the S26 series, which sound quite similar to Google's Pixel Snap accessories for the Pixel 10 range. Currently, Galaxy users need to use a Qi2-ready case to benefit from magnetic charging, but the appearance of first-party Samsung Qi2 accessories means these magnets could finally be incorporated into Samsung's S26 devices. Rejoice! So far, the speculated enhancements for the base S26 haven't sounded all that interesting, but there are a couple more tweaks that might see it properly rival the iPhone 17, which we hailed as the best value iPhone ever in our review. Firstly, the vanilla S26 is believed to feature a slightly larger 6.3-inch AMOLED display than its 6.2-inch predecessor, which would bring it in line with both the iPhone 17 and Google Pixel 10 in terms of screen real estate. The S26 is also reported to be substantially smaller, at 6.9mm, and Samsung could follow Apple's lead by boosting the phone's minimum storage capacity from 128 gigs to 256 gigs. These aren't extremely exciting additions, but they should improve the value proposition of the S26 specifically, especially if the Ultra model once again starts at $1,299/£249/$2,149 Australian dollars. 5. A slightly bigger battery. The Galaxy S25 Ultra was the sixth Ultra phone in a row to acquire a 5000 mAh battery, but 2026 could finally be the year that Samsung smashes through that seemingly self-imposed barrier. The latest speculations say the S26 Ultra will have a 5200 mAh or 5300 mAh battery, and while neither boost would set the world alight, especially considering the OnePlus 15 packs an enormous 7300 mAh cell, the S26 Ultra will almost probably be the longest-lasting Galaxy Ultra phone yet. The normal S26 also looks ready to get a battery upgrade next year, with one report hinting at a 4300 mAh cell. Again, that's not extremely enormous, but in both cases, these capacities are larger than those in the iPhone 17 Pro Max and standard iPhone 17. So, While we would definitely prefer to see Samsung implementing silicon carbon technology in its forthcoming flagships, they should at least be longer lasting than Apple's iPhones. To conclude, honestly, based on these alleged changes, I'm not on the edge of my seat with excitement for the S26 line. The predicted enhancements for the S26 Ultra, particularly the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 CPU, magnetic charging, and a slight telephoto camera update, would surely make it an objectively better phone than the S25 Ultra. But I can't see myself advocating a generational upgrade based on those speculations alone. The base Galaxy S26 seems a bit more intriguing, if only because it will almost surely have the same speedy chipset as its pricier brother, the same magnetic charging, and a much welcome increase to its beginning storage. My feeling, though, is that the entire S26 needs a wow factor, something that hasn't yet been rumored. The iPhone 17 Pro had its hype-inducing cosmic orange color, while the Google Pixel 10 line grabbed headlines for Google's long-awaited adoption of magnetic charging technology, which won't be so remarkable if and when Samsung does the same thing. Of course, the changes stated above are not fixed in stone, and Samsung presumably has plenty more tweaks up its sleeve to make shoppers fall for the Galaxy S26 when it debuts in January or February next year. So that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more tech news and updates.